Hello, hello. Finally I was able to get into this live stream. Jesus. I'm telling everybody. Is anybody here? Nobody's here. Let's start texting people. Ooh, we've got somebody with us. Exciting. Hello. Let me... Ooh. Hello. Thank you for the heart. I wanted to wear something a little bit different for makeup, but I'm also lazy. I have a green I could have worn, pretty zombie green. I'm not expecting very many people, so those who do show up, thank you. Still just talking to you too. I don't get to talk to people anymore because of, well, vocally because of COVID. While we're waiting, if any more people show up, comment what is one of your favorite horror movies. Also, can you hear me well? I'm just using my webcam and the microphone that is available on my laptop. I think at either the three and a half minute mark, I'm just gonna begin. Take a picture for Instagram. Amadeus. Oh yeah, video's not going to be great because Wi-Fi is a little meh, and webcams aren't sparkling. I just kind of felt like this would be more fun, more eerie and ominous. So it has now been 3.5 minutes. I'm gonna move on. So I have been wanting to talk about George Romero's Zombie Universe for about a good while now, because back in August, the Living Dead, written by George Romero and Daniel Kraus. This was written by George Romero because he wrote some of it for like some web stories years before he died. And the book really reinvigorated my interest because it brought in, I think, 5 different views of this whatever is going on. And it brings them all together and creates some really sad, ominous, weird stories and points of views. But we'll get to that at the end of this. Let's talk about his pride and joy. I think the only movies he did himself, and that is the 6 zombie films that start with Night of the Living Dead and technically end with Survival of the Dead. Now, I have them in this order, which is, if we can see them, Night of the Living Dead, Diary, Survival, Dawn, Land, and Day. This is the order that technically they were this is their chronological order, essentially. Um, so, you know, George Romero did these completely out of order, which is, makes sense, but why do that? I guess ideas just come to you as you go. Now, I don't want to talk about each of these movies too long at once because, especially Night, Dawn, and Day, because they're 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. They've been talked to death. So we'll kind of breeze through those when we get to them. I think film. Ooh, my connection is unstable. No Wi-Fi. I'm gonna put my phone. I'm using Night of the Living Dead. Ooh, every time I talk about it, it goes unstable. I'm gonna be unstable by the end of this. Let's see if I can say it without it going nuts. Night of the Living Dead. 1968 black and white film, classic, the game changer of the zombie universe, because usually it was just these weird ghouls or like voodoo stuff like that, not just dead people coming back to life. Uh, so this really kind of just changed the game all time. Can I talk about my movies without this connection being unstable? Like, can I? Is okay. The issue I have, this is why I'm not going to be talking about them, because everybody's seen at least one of these movies. I know some people out there haven't seen any. If you're just joining us, I am currently talking about the movies. I noticed that there are 3 people. There was 4. There is 4. Yeah. Hey. Currently talking about the movies. We aren't talking about the book just yet. The book's going to be the main thing I want to chit chat about because it's creepy. Back to what I was saying. Oh my God, my sister. Hey, sister. So the thing I have an issue with about this being the first is that Diary of the Dead actually pretty much starts before anything happens. So, and then Survival goes on at the beginning with Diary of the Dead and then moves on. 2000, ooh, Unstable. I swear to God. Unstable. And a lot of people didn't care for it. Swear to God. People, I am sorry. I'm going to get Google Fiber and I'm going to just blow off minds. I'm shook. I appreciate that. I've said this again before, but if you're just joining us, we're just talking about the movies right now. Diary of the Dead is a documentary style type of movie, and a lot of people tend to not like that type of movie when it comes to horror because it can be too fast moving. You don't usually get to have a full wide sense of scale of everything that's happening. It's just all right in front. But I personally have a love for this movie. This was I think, second movie I saw after Land of the Dead, which I can't wait to get to. But this also is at the beginning. I don't know else how to talk about it. It's just about these college kids that are trying to survive, and they each get knocked off as they go, and it's just pretty old school. Yeah. Then we get to Survival of the Dead, which I just recently watched, and to say I was disappointed is being a little nice. It wasn't horrible. It leads into the Land of the Dead zombie learning scenario, but the movie itself was kind of lame. George Romero's death, I swear, unstable. I'm gonna say unstable every time. This is also just focused on these two families on an island who are trying to be like, no, we have to kill them, or no, teach them again. Shot, might as well. You only live once, unless you live again. Next is something I'm not really talking too in depth about all of these. I do have a comment to make about this. This one is probably one of the most iconic of all the films because it is Dawn of the Dead, the classic where they stay inside. Excuse me. Where they are stuck inside of a shopping mall, and then they try to make a home there, and they notice that zombies are coming up to the center, and they assume it's because from memory that this is where they would go for leisure and what they like to do. And this just really iconic. You lose like I think two of the main four cast members, so that's in and of itself is amazing. The gore really was amped up from 0 to 11, from Night of the Living Dead to Dawn of the Dead. Still kind of cheesy, but it's still a great film. I recommend if you can get your hands on this. Maybe they do digital, but I wanted a physical copy because I'm a physical whore. I get that from my father. Like, wait a minute. Strike that. I get having physical DVDs as a necessity from my father. There we go. And then just to go off the beaten path, this I noticed right here. If you can tell me what language that is, I'll give you 5 points. There's actually 2 spots. This is a collector's edition. I watched it. It's totally fine, but all of this packaging has Korean on it, and I'm cool with that. I have an interesting piece of collector's history, honestly. I will say the movie quality was not that great. It was kind of like I was watching it on an old boob tube glass projector television, and it was just not the tea. But it worked. I got to watch the movie. But that's my little tangent on that. So yeah, if you can get your hands on Dawn of the Dead, I think you would be very happy because it was such an icon that, of course, what's his name? Zack Snyder remade this in 04. I think it was 04, 05. And he also kind of changed up the zombie game because he made them fast, he made them grosser, he made them scarier. I've had nightmares because of that movie, and I don't get nightmares very easily. So, both Dawn of the Dead movies, 2 thumbs up. Next is probably the one that's most ingrained into my brain. It's woo! I didn't break anything. If I did, it'd come back to life. I'm just gonna move on from that. This is Land of the Dead. So this came out in 2005. And to me, this is one of the more iconic films of the 6. It really pushes the bar with the gore and the gross. It pushes the zombie to another level because it shows that they are getting their smarts. They're learning again. They will do their old jobs that they had before they were dead and reanimated. And it's just really cool. And then it plays on the societal differences from having these wealthy people, which if I remember right, if I notice, most of them are white. Just saying. Class differences go past just wealth. And all these other people just living in the street Oof. If you can. Also, the zombies and the kills, like just everything. And then there's a continuation uh, from Dawn of the Dead to Land of the Dead, where one of the bad people in Dawn of the Dead actually show up as a zombie in this. His name is Slade or something, and he's just this biker guy. It's great. He has a cleaver and he splits somebody's face in half. It's beautiful. I love horror. I love gore. Oh, it's great. Sit tight, you guys. Chat amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be right around the corner. I gotta grab a charger for my phone that's at 20%. I don't want to push it. Uh, Comment below what your favorite horror movie is. It can be anything. It can be a musical, like Repo, the Genetic Opera. No. Oh, God. It's either I unplug my lamp that's giving me the light, or Midsummer. I was shooketh. Or I unplug my laptop, which is plugged in at 100%. We're going to go with the laptop. Ugh. It shouldn't take my phone too long to charge. So, all right. So that was Land of the Dead. As we move on, definitely you can get your hands on this easy. This is a brand new collector's edition. Devil's Rejects is okay. House of a Thousand Corpses is better. They really killed the weird mysticism with Devil's Rejects. I was disappointed. Shameful. I love Rob Zombie, but he made a mistake. Should have kept it at the one movie. But that's another thing. I can talk about those movies all day. Finally, for the movies, we talk about Day of the Dead. So this is another iconic one. It's also beautiful. It shows all the zombies in daylight and like more than we ever got to see. And it was just creepy. They really pushed it on the effects and everything. The acting was a little less cheesy. I'm sure everybody maybe once this. Let's get this bread stabilized. Stabilized. Thank you. Day of the Dead is iconic because of the characters and even the zombie character that they had that was kind of the main character, which is this guy right here. His name was Bub, which is cute. He really was showing how they could learn and relearn and take things that they knew from the past and still operate even though everything is dead and except for their brain and somehow their motor functions. The main bad guy is iconic. I also found out he just recently died, maybe a couple years ago. His name is Sarge. We'll just say Sarge. I don't remember his name, even though I just watched this. I think they also have remade this a ton of times. I don't understand why, because this was enough and the remakes were terrible as fuck. Anyway, but this is actually, since this is the end of the chapter, it's really supposed to show how the zombies have evolved in a matter of, I think, 5 years. I think from Night, Survival, and Diary to this is supposed to be 5 years. So, take that as you will. The gore is fantastic. George Romero really didn't play around with the gore. Give props to Tom Savini and Greg Nicotero, who I think still works on The Walking Dead. They are gods with special effects. I aim to meet them one day or another. Uh, we'll talk about that in a second too. Made from my memory, I could be wrong. Creep Show, which I want to talk about those because those. The first one was really stuck in my head. So now we move on to the extremely long book called The Living Dead. I am only about halfway through, so I'm sorry I am coming into this without complete full knowledge of everything that happens in this book. But we will say that is a good thing, because that means I cannot spoil things for you because I don't know what these spoilers are. So, with that said, we start with I believe, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 total points of view. Starting with these medical examiners, Luis and Charlotte, or she's called. They're just doing their job, and then out of nowhere, after a call, begins the events. They don't call it anything else. They just say the day or the events, whatever. Woo! We went down to two people. I am heartbroken, y'all. But yeah, we go down to they say 000, as in the first day, and then everybody else gets counted. They encounter what I'm assuming is supposed to be like one of the very first, if not the first, undead person. Which really like made my adrenaline rush, because it's like, oh, we're going back again. And then we move on to Miss Greer. She is from a little trailer park in a fictional. No, it's probably because my Wi-Fi is Spectrum, not Google Fiber or anything actually good. So, if you can't watch it now, it'll be uploaded and you can watch it then, and hopefully it's okay. Uh, anyway, we move on to Greer, who is. Let me see if I can find. They live in a small town in Missouri that's fictional called. And I tried looking it up and it doesn't exist, unfortunately. The writer just really did his thing. And she's part of this like weird group of like needing help people, or like, I don't know. It's not, to me, maybe I just read it piss poorly. I was too excited and I was kind of reading a shit ton in one night. But like they're part of this kind of like self-help group kind of a thing. And it goes in, and they are all doing this one thing, and then overnight Greer wakes up and it's quiet, it's foggy. She encounters undead, and then there's like this whole like war trailer park. It's dangerous, and it was so and it really just and it's been 27 minutes. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying. So next we move on to let me find out. We move on to, I believe, ooh, he's a black man. Baseman. Um, they are part of a news media group, and they are trying to be covering all of this and making sure everything's told right. We encounter a scene essentially where they're talking about all of this, what's going on, and it's really like it pulls at your heartstring. No more what's going on because they don't know what's going on. Come on, stability. We be a queen. Um, Baseman is trying to make sure they uh, continue showing this one video of this neighborhood where people are getting back up, and they're thinking it's just gang activity, and it's just children or no adults. I think something happening at a children's birthday party. Then there's a point where he has to fight this one bitch, um, and he I guess kills her because she comes back and tries to attack the anchor man who's trying to tell everybody about what the heck is going on. It's so good. I have two left. Oh, one I'm very interested in. This is how it starts. It starts talking about this um um and she is charting she is charting the events, and she sees the first like notification of what's happening from the medical examiners, and it's so crazy to have like all that intertwined. I think she's technically a lesbian or bisexual. I think she talked about being with men in the beginning, and then she's like, women are better, which at this rate, I agree, but I'm gay. Great. And there's something, she met a woman at Disney World, and they said that if anything bad ever happens, they're supposed to meet at the La Brea tar pits in California. So now she is supposed to get going. And then as you read on, you read through all these people. Then you read more about their stories, and then hers. She's trying to get to California because she lives in essentially Maryland. And she gets to a hospital after taking a bus and trying to get everywhere and anywhere she can. She gets to a hospital, and then somebody seemingly died next to her, came back and got her on the arm. And now you get to see into her zombie. He is a captain on the ship called, I don't remember, the Olympia, I believe. I think so. The Olympia. His name is Carl. Carl something. Nakamura, Ishimura. Ooh, I just saw it. I'm upset. Carl Nishimura. I was right. God damn it. And he is a captain on this war vessel as everything's going down, and we get the longest introduction with him. I thought it was never going to end. I was losing my mind. I was like, I need more than just him. But I will say what's great is he's a gay man with a husband and 5 kids, which are all of his sister kids because she died in a horrible accident, hit her and her husband, I think. So now he has a family to worry about that's all in Buffalo or somewhere new. And he also has to worry about the insanity that's happening on this ship. It was wild. Like some points were a little, then some points were just freaky deaky. But one of the points that I think I'm gonna really like about this book as it goes on, there is because this really puts in perspective. Here we go. So the chapter, it's a short chapter. Here we go. Sorry, I'm not doing coke. I wish I was. I'm kidding. YouTube, don't flag me. Susan, don't watch this. Oh God, am I bleeding? Is this the end? It's the end. Oh, thank God. So we might add, called "You Are Hungry," and this puts everything into some weird. You are in the eyes of somebody who, well, I swear to God. Thank you. It's telling you, like, you look, your eyesight is poor. You smell, it smells strong. You have, like, you recognize this body, like, you're not, your brain still works, everything is still in there, but whatever happened cannot let you. As you go on, you see these yous, you you. It talks about it like it's a hive mind mentality, because in your mind, as somebody who's undead, you are wanting to make more yous. You want to live on with other yous and all these other fast moving ones. Then there's a point. Oh, I got red lipstick on my book. Ooh. And then we're still in the introduction of Nishimura. We get into "You Are Not Alone," which is in the eyes of another person, and then it gets even crazier. And it says, "You are not alone. You are larger. You are stronger." Like, this is what ends the introductions to everybody. So it really puts you on, like, a level of, like, what the fuck? Now I am only to a part. I'm on the next moment talking with the TV newscasters. I think I just finished, talking with the Greer from Missouri. I so far, this has been one of the most unexpected, like, intense books I've read in a while. I can't wait to finish it. Apparently, it moves the farthest in. Stabilize. Oh, stabilize. Oh, thank you. But yeah, that's George Romero's insane, psychotic, undead universe. I cannot wait. There's apparently a couple more movies that's going to be coming out. The next one's supposed to be called Road of the Dead. The reason I wanted to talk about this, besides it being spook time and Halloween time, is that the book and what the co-author has said, George Romero himself has said, is that these are all set in today's time. Technically, because this book was written and released in 2020, technically, it's don't freak out. technically, the events that are written, filmed, and everything start tomorrow. Start in 4 hours. Well, 4 hours from my time, but it's really, I think, stunning. And the reason the co-author did a phenomenal fucking job of really pushing in, like, hey, this is set this year. Be fucking scared. Because they talk about the political climate, how shitty it is. Click that like button if you agree. It talks about like these cell phones that you can't put down. On the ship, there's 100-inch 4K television. We don't have 4K back in the early 2000s, early 2010s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. We don't have everything they talk about in this book. So this is very much tells me, tomorrow, if people start waking up dead, this is a prophecy. This is a prophecy. George Romero was a prophet. If we see him, if this happens and like he's dead and it's been 3 years, kill him first. He might be like the king god of everything, And then this really makes you think, could you really survive such a thing? I mean, this isn't these fast-running virus zombies. This is just the dead that can no longer fit in hell. So now they must walk the earth. Could you survive these slow-moving creatures where you are now, with what you have now? Would it go as far as what happens? Would we lose most of the world's populations? Would, the Southern boys be able to just makes it easier for you to come back? And then, you fucked up. Game over, technically. You get 2 lives now. So yeah, if you wake up tomorrow and you hear, the emergencies things on your phone, run. I'm gonna stop there. I hope you guys just enjoyed me talking about this. I love movies. This is why I rebranded my channel. I love film. I love movies. I want to make movies. I want to be in movies. Everything about them is just so exciting and fun to me. And I'm really glad that I get to talk about something that's so iconic for the first true movie video on Cinema Alden. So, please subscribe. You can hit the bell button. You don't have to. I don't hit the bell button on my own subscriptions that I have because I don't like notifications at all. And then, click the like button on this video, past videos that you watch, future videos that you watch. It helps me grow. I'm hoping to do more. I'm hoping to be more seen. Maybe I want to do some that was a bad burp, girl. I want to do some special effects makeup. I'm going to be doing some fun Halloween makeup soon. Next video you guys are going to see is going to come out next week, and it's going to be a surprise. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I can just talk about certain movies all day long. We're going to get to those because some of those movies are going to be really big. I wanted to make this as short and sweet as possible. I really didn't go too in depth with these movies. I'm sorry. I'm not good at analyzing very well. I can do short term. Plus, the book is more impactful, in my opinion. If you didn't want to watch a movie, but you like reading a book, I say just forget the movies. Whatever you know now, that's good enough. Get into the book, because the book takes you from the beginning to some form of an end. So once again, subscribe. I need more subscribers. I need attention. I'm an attention whore. I have told everybody this, and I'm not ashamed. Yeah, so you guys will get 2 videos in the next week because it's Halloween. Why not go all out and above and exhaust myself to no unearthly end? And I hope to see you guys next week if the zombie apocalypse does not happen. So I will see you then. Bye. Ending stream now.